Hello, Retribution here. I recently defeated the last boss of the game Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 2 Retribution using the Eldar faction and the very hard difficulty. So as you can see here, this is my Steam account and I got the very hard campaign complete achievement. I unlocked that at the exact same time that I unlocked the For the Fallen achievement. So that's the complete the Eldar campaign on any difficulty achievement, coupled with the very hard campaign complete achievement. So the gameplay video itself won't have any commentary, but before that, before we launch into that, I'm going to show you my squad loadout. Hang on. So I'm going to show you what my squad is. So you might say that did you use elite squads or did you just use these 4 characters? And initially I thought that this was going to be the better choice, using the Wraith Lord champion, because once an elite unit dies you can just resurrect it or him, or I mean you can just resurrect the unit or the squad using the what do you call these, the webway portals that the Eldar use, in contrast to, you know, using the heroes. If these heroes die in action, you have to shell out requisition just to resurrect them. But with what do you call this, with the honor guard units, you don't spend requisition in resurrecting them. You just click on their icon and voila, they get resurrected. But I decided against that because Velduran now has in the course of me playing the campaign, I decided to unlock all these. So I know for a fact that the last boss is going to be a static target. So I figured that if I use Velduran and he has this consumed by flames attribute, it says here that immolates deals additional burning damage over time. The damage continues to stack if units do not move. So I figured out that Velduran would be more useful than a Wraith Lord champion in this regard. And you can see that in the last seconds of the video, it did manage to lay in the coup de grace, defeating the final boss. So anyway, before we go to the gameplay video itself, I'm going to show you the equipment that my squad used while wailing away at the final boss. So with Kailath, this is her equipment. She's got the Mariusus pole arm, however you pronounce that. It does 109 damage, attack speed of 4, accuracy of 100%. So it deals 100% damage to both infantry and heavy infantry vehicles. It deals 50% damage to vehicles and to buildings 30%. So why did I choose this? Because it has the 50 health and the 100 armor rating is very useful. So I don't know with you, but you know, in this game getting loot is random. So I was lucky enough to have this one, because in the very hard campaign, you know, enemy units do dish out substantial amounts of damage compared to the easier levels of difficulty. So you have to invest in beefing up your units, because no matter how good you are at microwing at this level of difficulty, your units are going to drop like flies if you don't beef them up in terms of durability and what do you call this, hit points and damage mitigation and stuff like that. So that's why I chose this armor. For her equipped accessories, we have 35 health regeneration to user and all nearby allies, 2.5 energy regeneration to all nearby allies. Now why is this useful? Of course, health regeneration is quite self-explanatory, but the 2.5 energy regeneration synergizes with her, what do you call this force shield thingamajig. It's like a mana shield in what game is that? Diablo, wherein instead of taking physical damage, it eats up into your mana pool. So in this case, it's the energy pool. So this is very useful. The energy regeneration is going to be useful in a pinch, because it synergizes with her force shield ability. So I also have haywire grenades because excuse me, I'm drinking wine here. Excuse me. because the main threat right here is not really the boss per se. I mean, yeah, it is the boss, but in the course of the battle, what do you call this? What do you call them? Those metallic red thingamajigs that the Chaos Force uses, those warhounds, they are classified as vehicles, and they do introduce quite the complication in terms of the difficulty of the encounter. So that's why I'm picking this haywire grenades over all these other accessories right here. And for the commander item, we have increased damage versus vehicles by 50% for the same reason that those warhounds are very, very, what do you call this, annoying. So they're quite the threat because, once they get into the battle, they're going to dish out serious damage, serious consistent damage, because I've noticed that the boss enemy really doesn't dish out a consistent rate of damage. He's got this flame attack, and he's got this where he pounds his fist on the ground and deals substantial amount of damage, but in terms of consistent source of damage, it's not that, what do you call this, a reliable source of damage. So yeah, the warhounds are going to be the real problem, as you will see in the video. So with the abilities, you already know this. If you've played Eldar, you already know that she has the jump, the sky leap, and the force shield, and of course this is an equipped item. So anyway, the jump is she's going to soar through the air, land at the target location, knocking back enemy units. And the sky leap is going to soar high above the battlefield to a target location, dropping plasma grenades beneath you. So for her abilities, I've decided to beef her up. So she has the force shield ability unlock, vitality. So that has buffed up her health and health regen. So improved shield, activating force shield disperses a charge that knocks back and stuns infantry and vehicles. Additionally, Kailath regenerates energy while the shield is active. This part I do not get, so it's kind of imba. Like if she regenerates energy while okay. So if she does not take damage, she still regenerates her energy. Okay, so that's one thing that's dealt with. Ferocity, Kailath regains health with every attack, and for us, so that's simple. This is a simple life steal. So I decided not to go with this because this game only caps at level 10. So I decided to allocate the remaining points somewhere else. So for the damage tree, she has this weapon prowess. When equipping swords, gain bonuses to in-combat charge and increase damage to heavy infantry. So in the course of the campaign, I didn't equip her with shuriken catapults or fusion guns. I just made her as a melee character. So that's increased damage to heavy infantry. That's going to be also helpful in a pinch in the final battle. Also, she has fleet of foot. Increases Kailath's speed, allowing her to leap over terrain and knock back enemy units while moving. She also has Vigor, increases Kailath's energy. Additionally, she regains energy for each enemy she kills. The strike from the skies. When jumping into combat, Kailath boosts the combat effectiveness of nearby allied units in addition to healing them. This is also very useful when you're playing in a very hard difficulty, because you're going to need every source of healing you can get. So in the gameplay video that follows, you might see me, you might notice that I jump Kailath over to her allies instead of the enemies. So that's me healing my squad. So that's not a misclick. Also, focus, Kailath's abilities recharge significantly faster, so that's cooldown related. And of course, the ultimate ability, Sky Leap, soar high above the battlefield to a target location, dropping plasma grenades beneath you. Additionally, unlocking the Volley trait drops additional grenades. So, Volley is very useful, but yeah, the game caps at level 10, so I didn't manage to get this because I deemed that all these are more important at the very hard difficulty setting, rather than haphazardly assigning points to the damage tree. So it's going to weaken her, so I opted for the durability tree and the utility thingamagic. As for our sniper Ronin, I decided to equip him with this one. Kiss of Ally Talk. So it deals 178 damage, has an attack speed of 10, accuracy 100%, range 56 meters, damage versus infantry 100%, heavy infantry 100%, vehicles 5, buildings 0. So it has a 17% range damage attribute, 50% accuracy, and 20% sight range, which is way better, I think, than this one, which only has 90 damage, fires in bursts of 3, but I'm not too sure about that because the one equipped has 50% accuracy, so I place a premium on that one. I was betting on that one to deal a consistent source of damage rather than this one. It fires, yeah, it does fires in bursts of 3, but I don't know about the accuracy. Also, it also has a longer reload, so there is that. For his equipped armor is so yeah, but I did place a premium on armor, health, energy, and that one when hit by a melee weapon he has a 35% chance per hit to recover 10 health, so it's not quite useful. But if I compare this to the other armor that I have, or armor suits that I have, they have significantly less armor rating, so I picked this one for Ronin. I also equipped him with the anti-grav grenade, so this is a CC ability. I think I forgot to use this in the final battle, sorry about that. And also, yeah, I wanted him to be the range damage provider of the group, so I equipped this one plus 20% range damage. His ability is Infiltrate, become invisible, regain some health, and take some much less range damage. Attacking using abilities or getting too close to enemy troops will reveal Ronin. Kinetic Pulse fires, this is his bread and butter. Fires a high impact, high damage blast of kinetic energy capable of knocking back and suppressing units around the target. Also, this one is very useful because in the gameplay video you're going to see that I'm going to use a fire prism, so the repair was very useful in that, although sometimes I forgot to micro Ronin around and I ended up losing a lot of fire prisms because of that. Anyway, so yeah, repair. And also anti-grav grenade. Yeah, that's fairly self-explanatory. Enemies are going to float right up into the air when they get this grenade exploding in their midst. So with Ronin, I found out in the early stages of the game he kept dying, so I invested all my points into health and the damage trees. So he has recovery, activating infiltrate instantly restores some of Ronin's health. Increases Ronin's health. I forgot about this actually in the final battle. That infiltrating is going to heal him. I forgot about this bit. Anyway, so yep, the repair, I already explained that. Master of Stealth, while infiltrate is active, Ronin takes significantly less range damage if he is not deployed. Fire prisms gain the energy field ability. Sabotage. Repair can now be used to damage and disable enemy vehicles, but will cost energy to do so. I also forgot about this one, but yeah, I did remember Kailath's plasma grenade, so I used that I used that extensively in the final battle. But I forgot about this one. Darn it. So this is the Kinetic Pulse ability unlock. I've already explained that. Deadly Aim increases Ronin damage, pretty self-explanatory. And this is the clincher. I mean, this is what makes Kinetic Pulse so deadly with Ronin. Force of Impact lowers the energy cost and increases the damage of Kinetic Pulse, allowing it to instantly kill most infantry. It increases rate of fire, pretty self-explanatory right there. Also this one, Kinetic Pulse no longer requires time to recharge, so you can just spam Kinetic Pulse willy-nilly. So I also use this very extensively in the campaign leading to this final battle. So Velduran is our sorcerer warrior. I didn't manage to get a significant weapon for this guy, but yeah, I did get this how do you pronounce that? Panel's Chisel. All nearby allies deal 17% melee damage. So also, if he gets hit by a ranged weapon, 100% chance per hit to heal all nearby allies for 2 health. But that attribute is not useful in the last battle because there won't be any ranged attackers in it, I think, as far as I can remember. So I also equipped him with this holo enhanced armor. It renders him permanently invisible, so it negates for me to micromanage all 4 of them. Like in the video, you're going to see that I really don't micromanage Velduran around. Instead, I just use his spells. So it has an armor rating of 69, evasion bonus versus ranged weaponry, and a 9% movement speed attribute. So I equipped him with the Destructor, grants ability Destructor. So where's Destructor? Where's that? Here you go. Fire a roiling blast of psychic energy. He also has this Spirit Stone of Eanden, which makes him kind of tankish, but not really as tankish as Kailath. So he has his 25% DR. So his abilities are Meditation, heal rapidly but cannot attack, move, or cast abilities while doing so. It's kind of like the Wraith Lord's Wraithbone ability. Meditation. So that's meditation. Ethereal slash nearby enemies, knocking back and damaging them. Immolate is engulf a large area in flames, damaging everyone within the blast radius and burning them for a duration. So this is going to be our ace up our sleeve in the battle. So yeah, well, I already explained that. Pretty self-explanatory ability. So I invested again in health and in the damage tree. So once again, you can see that I have invested very heavily on health because no matter how good you are, I don't know about pros, but at my skill level and on the very hard difficulty, no matter how fast I micromanage, they tend to drop like flies at this level of difficulty. So that's why I invested everything on the the stamina tree. So he's got Conceal, reduces the damage Velduran takes from range attacks. Vitality increases Velduran's health. Siphon, after using psychic power, Velduran steals health from nearby enemies. Embolden, Velduran is immune to suppression if he is not deployed. Squads led by warlocks gain this bonus. And I already explained that. Meditation. I already explained this. Consumed by flames. Torrent of energy adds knockback and increases the rate of fire of Velduran's range attacks if he is not deployed. Warlocks gain this benefit and increase their squad's rate of fire. I already explained. Increases Velduran's damage. Pretty self-explanatory. Master of the Witch Path improves the destructive capabilities of Immolate, Destructor, and Ethereal Slash. For Elenwe, she's our support warrior. So I equipped her with the Spear of, how do you pronounce that? Malan Rai. It has 95 damage, attack speed of 4, accuracy of 100%, damage versus infantry of 100%, heavy infantry of 100%, vehicles 50%, buildings 30%. It also has a 20% melee damage bonus, a 25% range damage bonus, no level requirement. Her equipped armor is, so I wanted her to be the tankiest of the group because she's the support hero. She has the resurrect skills and everything, so I wanted her to be almost as beefy as Kailath. So she has a level 7 armor, which is a rating of 87. It grants 250 health, a 20% melee damage resistance. As for the equipped accessories, she has a channeling runes, grants the ability channeling, which is this thing. Increase health and energy regeneration of target unit. Caster must remain stationary. I also equipped her with this, Runes of the Harlequin. Grants ability Confuse, so this is this one. Confuse the target squad, causing it to recklessly attack anything nearby for a short period. So her abilities, aside from these two, is Spiritual Rites, restore a large amount of health to friendly units in an area, and continue to heal them over time. There's this ward thing too, which grants targeted ally temporary invulnerability and knockback immunity. Enemies attacking warded units take damage and are knocked back. She also has this levitation field passive thingamagic, which is very useful. It lifts enemies around the Farseer into the air, incapacitating them, then throwing them, doing knockback damage. So once again, I invested my points into the stamina tree and the damage tree. You might question why I didn't invest my points into the energy, as she's a support, but that's also the reason why I invested heavily into the damage thing, because all her abilities are about support, and if I didn't, I felt that if I didn't invest my points into the damage tree, she's going to be just another she's going to be a useless, fighter, just healing the squad and doing nothing in terms of damage. So that's why I invested heavily into this tree too. So she has Doom. Elanways attack lower enemy defenses, increasing the damage they take. Can be stacked multiple times, so this is quite useful. Increases Elanways damage, pretty self-explanatory right there. Levitation field, I already explained this. Second strike, Elanways close combat attacks deliver a second delayed blow of psychic damage. If she's not deployed, Banshees gain this bonus. Not a fan of Banshees in this game, although I use them extensively in Dawn of War 1, but not in this game. Not really a fan of Banshees in this game. Anyway, Psychic Resolve increases Elanways energy, so yeah, pretty self-explanatory right there. Instead of getting this one, I invested here, because I found out in the course of the game that she kept, having her energy bar depleted, so I had to do this rather than put in Mind War. So for the stamina tree, she has the ward. I already explained this. Increases Linus' health, pretty self-explanatory. Feedback, enemies attacking warded units take damage and are knocked back, so it's like kind of Thorn Mail in League of Legends and other MOBA games. Fortune is also very useful. Eldar no longer take damage when retreating. So in this game, if you select a unit and you press X, they're going to run back to the nearest webway portal, and if you chose this, if they run back, they're not going to take damage anymore. So it's pretty useful if they're if they're on their last legs and you decide to press X. That's going to render them invincible for the duration of the retreating phase. This is very quite useful. Spiritual Restoration, allies near Elanways slowly regain health, additionally increases the duration of ward and the potency of spiritual rites, so this is also her bread and butter. So anyway, after this, so on to the gameplay video, so I hope you enjoy.
You shall not find me unprepared.
As ever, we serve the crafty.
Wisdom is the winner of wars. On the move, ready for battle. Remain out of sight.
Retribution cannon team ready.
Among us, we are your heroes.
Wisdom is the winner of wars. On the move, ready for battle.
Manifest.
increasing the squadron's number.
Psychic weaponry upon us.
Now is not the time.
They are taking the town of Kailath. I can do no more.
This way. Each one daggers a dagger in their dark god. The land shall scorch and burn. Let the living Eldar know. Very substance choices. Or do this for strength, for precision. I go to battle. Fire pressure is out for the rest of your feeble gods. The conflict go dead.
Standing here. I sense our enemies.
support platform to the enemy.
This is a hostile area!
We shall do battle with more courage.
Retreating!
Their sights are set on me.
For war as your enemy.
Rest upon me.
We are taking
replenishing the squadron's numbers.
This is not safe. I shall not.
Still they try to kill us.
You have a command. Target is on my way there now. I am under attack.
It cannot be.
The enemy has targeted our Ronin's battle.
As you wish. Let the pain melt. We are beset by chaos.
We are sending down infantry reinforcements.
I have come to serve. Your heart is not in Eldar.
I have the benefit. I return to the same walk in step with you, Farseer.
Seers wish us.
I agree. Witness my example.
The foe besets our holdings.
It's no easy on hawk's wings. An easy task, this one. I shall not fail. This is a hostile area.
Observe, we have an appointment to keep.
Attacking! Now is the time. I'm ready to serve.
We shall do better with more preparation.
I bring you the fire, the crystal ray.
We must arm for even crueler warfare. One of our weapons platforms, the craft world, has prepared new war gear for our champion.
As in all things, if I am to command, I must survive.
To command. It is sent back to the war. Their foot soldiers are dead.
Wisdom is the winner of wars. Now is the time.
are replenishing the squadron's numbers.
This juggernaut is no easy food.
Setting down infantry reinforcements.
Retreating.
42nd. I have come to serve. On this day, we walk in step with you, for we have time to kill.
On the move. Ready for
Where is
battle.
it? It must be a swift strike.
Bravery without weaponry means little.
Unwieldy beast. Wisdom is the winner. Unwieldy beast.
Muscle their infantry.
Send them back to their first.
Shall be done.
The dark god.
This is not safe. I shall endure.
Nations of chaos.
You shall not find me unprepared.
We are replenishing the squadron's numbers.
42nd. I have come to serve.
War, as in all things. I am ready.
I am still undercloaked.
I am ready.
I see.
Fire
on my
prism
way.
is outfitted and ready. The prism cannon is yours to command.
Shuriken cannon team deployed. We must save the lost one. Shuriken cannon team deployed. We will stand against any enemy.
On the move. Ready for battle.
Where is there need of me?
Was such movement seems inconsequential. If the living Eldar the departed walk among them new.
We trust in your guidance.
We are willing, and so return. Let us go. Let us go. Now, our God calls us to serve as we can life. Dear spirits, let us go.
The prism cannon is yours to command.
Wisdom is for you. On my way there now.
I am honored.
As you require.
We sense you. Go ahead. Battle demons.
Or as if on hawk's wings.
Where is their need?
Orcs need us still.
Prism is outfitted and ready.
There may be fighting en route. Now they may look at me if
Fire
they
prism is
wish.
outfitted and ready. Where is we shall not linger. It must be a swift strike.
We are replenishing the squadron's numbers.
Falcon grav tank on the field.
shall rejoice in our victory.
I wonder if my dreams may finally end.
We should all be so fortunate to have such loyal kin.
I believe we already do.
You have served the Craftwolds honorably, outcast. What shall you do now?
I shall bring my sister home.
So you've just seen me defeat Kailath, the last boss of the game Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 2 Retribution. So this has been Retribution. If you like this video, please like and or subscribe. Would go a long way in supporting my efforts to produce more videos for you, my fellow PC gamers. Stay cool, stay frosty.